Okay, caravanners, how many of you, just like I have thrown away a heap of jockey wheels just because this rotten bearing at the top seizes up? But if you've got a vise and a couple of tools, you can fix it easily. First thing is, take it off of course, and knock the roll pin out on the handle. Just use a piece of stainless wire or an old drill bit, something like that. Hang on to the thing so that it doesn't end up on the floor under the bench where you can't find it. The handle comes off easily. And that is what's stopping you from greasing it. Now you can lift it off, but give it a good shake to make sure the bearings stay on top of the threaded shaft. These little things have fallen apart by now. I'll show you why that's important in a minute. Provided you catch it all, you're going to be alright. So, as I said, they've all fallen apart pretty much. Just lift them off and put them aside in case you don't have a replacement. You can already see some of these bearings have fallen out and are in the bottom cage, the bottom shell, like that. You've got to watch that they don't end up under the bench with that roll pin that you can't find. Give it a clean up. You'll notice while I'm doing that, the last piece to come off is a nylon sleeve for the inside. You can buy them, they're cheap. There are cheap nasty ones, but those ones in particular look quite good and they're not expensive. If you don't have a replacement, but you've got all the ball bearings and it hasn't completely disintegrated, just give it a wash. Clean it all out in some terps or kerosene or diesel. Dry all your parts. With a bit of luck at this stage, you'll notice you've got all the ball bearings. If not, I guess you're going to spend 10 minutes under your bench with a magnet looking for the others. Compressed air or a rag. I go for the rag because the compressed air tends to blow those ball bearings off and they end up under the bench. Now, any grease you've got around, doesn't have to be a high temperature grease. A marine grease is good, keeps the water out. Now you pack the top and bottom shell. You pack the cage. Put plenty in here because it's going to hold those little ball bearings while you put them back together again. Oops, nearly went under the bench. Okay, when it's all back together, you put your top shell on to hold them in place. And then you put your bottom shell on. See how much smoother that's feeling already. While you're at it, it's a good time to wind up the threaded rod, give it a clean and wipe some grease in those threads. Make the whole movement a lot easier. You notice the grease build up as you wind it back down. A little bit under that washer, which is a thrust washer after all. Put the insert back in. You're nearly there. So far they didn't go under the bench. The whole thing's feeling better already. Now it stays there because you've got it packed with grease, it doesn't all fall apart. While you slide the sleeve back over, there she is. Now just position that with the one flat side lining up with the D. See if you can find that roll pin under the bench. Bash it back in and you're away laughing. 15 minutes ago that was a hassle. Now it's as good as new. Thanks for watching.